Yeah, let's go for it then. Welcome back to man.
Come on, you can do it this time.
A long time. No, done it wrong.
No,
Maybe you should do the intros.
no. You're the intro man, right?
welcome back to a long time ago with me, Adam,
And
and
me, Martin. And that's really cheesy.
yeah, a little bit. Um, we're on to part 3 of Obi-Wan, and I thought it was amazing. What did you think?
I thought it was absolutely superb.
It's my favorite episode so far of this series. In fact, it might be my favorite episode in Star Wars TV
Wow,
series history.
wow. Yeah, that's
It just blew me away with how I wasn't expecting a lot of the things, I don't know if you want to just get sort of straight into the notes of it, or know what we
yeah.
said.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's start from the beginning because there was so much in this episode.
Yeah. Bear in mind, I have only watched it once so far. So I
Okay,
say
yeah.
it's amazing, but I've only had a chance to watch
Okay.
it once. So.
I might have watched it 5 times.
To have that sort of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we started off obviously with the recap, and then Obi-Wan was I don't know how you'd phrase it, trying to sort of speak to Qui-Gon again.
Yeah.
So you were right. That was a continuous thing.
So far, 3 for
so
3.
Far, yeah, and obviously he's still not communicating with him.
No.
And as this was going on, we had those amazing shots of Anakin being put together as Darth Vader.
Oh yeah,
which were just absolutely brilliant.
Mad.
Yeah. And the sound effects, everything was goosebump time. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But I have to still admit, even at this point, I thought, oh, they're not going to meet this episode. This is, obviously, this is just him trying to find it.
Exactly. You wouldn't have thought that it would have got to where it was, and I don't want to jump through the episode like we did with the last one too much, but yeah, it was just sort of the way it was written. I don't know. It sort of completely blew my expectations.
Yeah. No, it was absolutely brilliant, and obviously we then continue straight on with Vader sitting in his throne on Mustafar in his castle, which is again prequel fan, Vader fan.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't get any better, to be honest with you. You've got the sweeping shot into the castle. You've got Vader sitting on his throne. You've got Reva in a traditional Star Wars hologram. Then all of a sudden, James Earl Jones comes over the.
Yes, to bring James Earl Jones back.
Yeah. I mean, I believe. Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say he's got to be getting on quite a bit now, hasn't he?
He's 91 now.
91.
Yeah, but I believe they got him to the lines. This is what I hear, and they used that re-speecher technology that you use for Luke in the Mandalorian.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why it sounded so dead on.
So close.
He sounds like in the original trilogy. So that was absolutely brilliant. And he was so badass to, straight away. I don't care about the Grand Inquisitor. If you fail me, you will die.
Yeah.
It was just yes, please, more please.
Just been relentless, and it's like you said in the last episode. You were talking about how brutal he is in the comics. Is that right?
Yeah, in the comics, I haven't read them all, but there's certain comics where he's really brutal, and obviously you had a little flash of him in Rogue One at the end.
Yeah, which is again one of the best scenes just in Star Wars history.
It's brilliant, and obviously he's had 10 years to think about what Obi-Wan did to him. So he's got a bit of pent up anger and
holding a slight grudge.
That's right, and that feeling and thought might have been a little bit why I was a little bit at the end of this episode.
Okay.
But we'll come to that later.
Yeah.
But there was an absolutely amazing moment with, again, can't credit the actress who played Leia. It was absolutely brilliant again.
Yeah.
And when she was asking him about
the Force.
About the Force, yeah. And
what does it feel like?
Yeah. Have you ever been afraid of the dark? And he turns and says, "How does it feel like when you turn on the light? It feels safe. That's what it feels like." I thought, wow. I mean, we've had loads of great explanations of the Force in all of the movies, but that was you know, there's something about that was really, really nicely put.
Yeah.
And yeah, this I don't know, there's something special. I think I don't know how they're going to get around Leia having all this experience and knowing a bit about the Force and everything. So I think they might have to do a bit of higgledy-piggledy, jiggery-pokery to perhaps make her forget some of this.
Possibly. Without going too much into the sequels, though, you know, there's obviously that scene in, is it The Last Jedi, I think, where she uses the Force herself.
Yes,
so
I do recall that scene.
You know, there's going to be some sort of knowledge there, training.
I think after Return of the Jedi, Luke took her on to train her in the Force.
Right,
there's a flashback scene, isn't there?
That's right, in the last one.
Yeah, the last one. Oh my god, I can't remember what it's called.
Rise of
Skywalker. Yes, and but then as soon as she fell pregnant with Kylo, or Ben, I should say, rather, she gave up learning the Force to become to become a mother.
To become a mother, yeah.
Okay. Went on to become the general again. So yeah, that was interesting. But
those sequels are quite cloudy to me, you know.
Yeah, they are to me a little bit, to be honest. Yeah.
Certainly haven't watched them 5 times anyway.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a good point. I've seen episode 3 of Obi-Wan 4 times than I've seen the Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi.
Yeah, as you should, to be honest. Yeah. So, and then they land down on that planet.
Yes.
Where Arja sent them.
Yes. And there's some quite cool moments down there as well. There was Obi-Wan having some kind of mental issue where he saw a vision of Anakin, and
was that really supposed to be Anakin then? Was it?
It definitely was.
It was Anakin. Okay.
And,
it was.
And if you and I've seen some zoomed in photos. It looks like he's wearing the exact outfit as a Jedi he was wearing in Episode 3. Brown leather.
Okay.
So that's quite cool. So that maybe hints to me that the outfit's there, so there might be some flashbacks. I
wasn't sure whether that was just somebody sort of. Well, I mean, you've said it was definitely Anakin, but I wasn't sure if that was just somebody there that was looking for him potentially.
No, it's definitely Hayden Christensen. Yeah.
So just a vision of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Vivian Lyra Blair is who plays Leia. Just want to get her name in because, as I say, really impressed with the acting.
Yeah. Very
and
good.
there was a great moment when they're on the sort of the bus, the barge, the speeder. Don't know what you'd call it.
Of Frex, was it
Frex? Yeah. Who's played by Zach Braff, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you not? Did you not pick
no,
that?
I didn't notice that. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I should have looked that up. Yeah, that's quite funny. An odd character.
Yes.
A mole man.
Yes, mole man. Yes.
Is that species?
No, it's totally
something we've seen.
I've never seen that before.
Probably for the planet.
I should imagine so. But it was quite interesting seeing someone who actually supported the Empire rather than everybody you normally see doesn't want the Empire there. So that was kind of an interesting take. Even though he did turn out to be a turncoat. But the scene
good.
where
that was good that they got on there and the Stormtroopers joined them.
And there was that fantastic scene where Obi-Wan messed up and called her Leia. Stormtrooper picked up on it, and he went on that talk about how she reminded him of his wife.
His mother,
her mother, and that again was a total hint to Padme.
Well, she said, didn't she? You knew my mother, didn't you?
Yeah. Which I thought was
what was his response to that?
No, he just said he didn't respond to, did you know my mother? But when she asked if he was her father.
Oh, that's right.
He obviously said no, I'm not, and it was kind of left like that. But Leia knows that he's holding back something, so maybe they'll explore that a bit.
She's quite savvy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get that scene at the post.
Inquisitorium.
Is it?
Oh no, sorry, we're talking about the post. Sorry, I think.
Sorry, at the checkpoint.
Yes, yeah, that was awesome. With the stormtrooper fell through the gate and split in half.
Yeah, that was pretty graphic. No, for Disney, for a Disney show.
Exactly. I have to
we'll come to something else a little bit later as well.
Yeah, definitely. But going back a few scenes, there was the scene where Reva went back to the Inquisitorium.
That's right. Yeah.
I forget the name of the planet. I don't know if you wrote it down at all. But,
I didn't.
That's a planet that's pretty much, you can see Mustafar from that planet. So obviously they're in the same system as Vader. But I really enjoyed that scene where they're in the meeting room, I suppose. The
three of them, and they're fighting over who's going to be the Grand Inquisitor, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, I really enjoy that bickering because you can tell that's Vader is obviously setting them up to all fight amongst each other. You know, when he has really no intention of doing anything for any of them, but they think he probably is going to. So that's really cool. And I don't know if you spotted the kind of, I suppose, Easter eggs in the back of that room on the shelves, all the way around the shelves. There was lightsabers all over the shelves at the back.
I think I did see them.
Yeah, and Padawan helmets, training helmets. That was really cool to show how many they'd obviously captured or killed in the past. Good little moment.
Quite smart. Yeah, pretty good. So then, where do we get to after that?
I mean, in my notes, I've kind of skipped over meeting the double agent, the Imperial officer played by Indira Varma.
Right, yeah.
Who I first saw in the show Rome on HBO, which is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen it,
no, I haven't seen that one.
It's absolutely fantastic. And obviously, she was in Game of Thrones as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she, you could tell that she was going to kill the Stormtroopers. You knew she was on their side.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he bowed his head down and she took her blaster out, you kind of, okay, she's the contact.
Were you, sorry, going back again a little bit, when the Stormtroopers got on to the barge, or no, when they did the checkpoint, because they got away with the first lot, didn't they? But when they did the checkpoint bit and the guys came in to ask some various questions, were you surprised that Obi-Wan didn't use Jedi mind tricks at all? Because that's sort of, I was like, oh, here we go, he's gonna sort of use Jedi mind tricks.
No, I didn't. It didn't even occur to me. And
really?
The reason it didn't occur to me is because he hasn't used the Force for such a long time. He had such trouble actually saving Leia in the last episode.
Okay.
I think.
See, I thought he would, and I thought it'd be sort of like part of the practice of him getting back into the swing of things. I thought he'd essentially be sort of learning a new skill each episode.
I don't feel like
he's getting it back.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 6 episodes, as we know, and he's, I mean, jumping forward a little bit, when he fights later on, you can see he's got absolutely nothing to him.
Yeah.
So I think the next episode is going to be a healing episode, perhaps, with some flashback as we got in Book of Boba Fett, because he's going to be injured. Flashbacks. Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, in Boba Fett, when you get injured, you go in a back to tank, and then it would initiate a flashback. So I think Obi-Wan's probably going to need a back to tank in the next episode. So
well, we'll come to that again later.
Yeah, we'll come to that. Sorry, I'm just desperate to get to the bit.
You and me both, yeah.
So I've skipped over. Obviously, she takes them back to the little town.
Yeah,
takes them into the droid workshop where there's some 3PO protocol droid parts up on shelves, and there's some battle droid parts as well, with sort of little Easter eggs in there. And then she takes them into the secret room at the back.
Well, there's the loading droid as well.
Oh yes.
And she said that the droid wouldn't understand, but it seemed like he still had the ability to sort of defend them. It was sort of in his nature.
I think he understood. No, I think he understood. I think he just couldn't talk back. She said.
Oh.
So
Again, I've seen it once.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But
My
I've seen some
memories a bit hazy on it.
I've seen some speculation online that think there's actually a person in there pretending to be a droid.
Oh, right.
But I don't think so.
Don't know about that. I think
No, it's a bit far fetched.
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah, so then they go through the tunnels.
Yes, there's this secret room with all
Where
of the
Jedi have been
carved,
before them.
yeah, all the carved sort of messages from Jedi's that have been saved. Jedi, not Jedi's.
Yeah.
And there's notes and things, and then obviously Obi-Wan realizes that Quinlan Voss is still alive. And I don't know if you know who Quinlan Voss is.
No, I was going to say about that.
Okay,
So,
I'll send you a picture of when he first appeared. But his first appearance was in the Phantom Menace episode 1.
Okay.
And he wasn't Quinlan Voss at the time. He was just a background character, but everyone saw him and thought, wow, he looks cool, and he became really popular. And then they created a character around this extra in the background, and he became Quinlan Voss, who's the cowboy Jedi, I think his nickname was.
All right.
He's kind of an out there Jedi Knight. He's more of a bit more rogue, like Anakin.
Oh, okay.
And he's appeared in some of the Clone Wars episodes.
God, I don't remember, to be honest. Again,
but it's only one episode, I think, so I'll have to send you the episode so you can check it out.
Yeah,
because it'll give you an idea of what his character's like. Because obviously he might turn up now.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe not in this show, but in another show.
Is he? Okay, obviously a good guy, but if you're saying he's like Anakin, is there like room for darkness?
He's like Anakin in terms of he's a bit of a rule breaker and a maverick Jedi. Jedi might have been
That's
way to describe him than a cowboy Jedi. But there was a book called Dark Disciple that came out a few years back, and it's based on a 4-part arc from the Clone Wars that they never finished making, so they decided to turn it into a book. And do you know Asajj Ventress?
Yeah, I know Ventress.
Yeah, well, Ventress and him fell in love, and but Dooku turned him to the dark side.
Right.
But Ventress brought him back to the good side, and in doing so, sacrificed her life, and she died. And then that was the last time in canon, that, as far as I'm aware, that we have heard anything from him. Right. So it's kind of an open book, really. I don't know any more than that. So he's got a bit of a rich history.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, but in the Clone Wars, him and Obi-Wan, they get on, but Obi-Wan finds his methods non-Jedi like. It's quite funny.
Right.
When they're working together. So yeah, I will definitely send you that link to that episode. That was really cool to see that, and I don't know whether we'll see him in this show, but hopefully we'll see him in the future, because obviously someone saved Grogu from the temple.
Yeah.
So could it have been him?
Okay, yeah. No, I stumbled across a YouTube video yesterday, I think, but I think it was like a fan-made one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I can't remember who. They suggested Mace Windu was the one who saved Grogu.
Well, I do know Samuel L. Jackson really wants to come back to play Mace Windu.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It'd be cool to see him again.
I think so. Yeah. But who knows? Yeah.
So I think that kind of leads us on to
Obi-Wan
realizing someone's the main event.
Main event, exactly.
Yeah. So if Obi-Wan senses Vader's in the town.
Yeah. So he runs back towards the window.
Yeah.
Or to the door.
That's right.
Looks out. And then Vader makes his appearance.
Yeah, and wow, I mean, looked incredible.
Goosebumps, right?
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the way the Inquisitors all bowed their heads slightly as he walked past, because they all fear him so much. The way Obi-Wan, I mean, Ewan McGregor, I mean, acting toward the Force, really, I mean,
the tension, you
believe how
feel
scared
it.
he is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. And Vader's just walking along, and
it
then all of a
sudden
sudden
took me back. Sorry, it kind of took me back to when I was a little kid watching the original films.
Yeah.
because there was that sort of like nervousness, you know, that like fear of Darth Vader, because he was just such a figure of like evil.
I mean, it surprised me in so many ways, because I expected it to do the thing where Vader and him would come face to face, and then the credits would roll, and then we would wait until next week. And every time another encounter happened, I was just getting more and more surprised that they were actually doing this in episode 3.
I thought he'd probably get away, and then you know, So, but let's go first. He walks through the town. Last week I said about how brutal he was. Like, he was in the comics. You know, she said about if anyone finds out his name's Anakin, he'll kill him.
Yeah.
And like, he drags that guy out with a force choke through the window.
Yeah. Well, let's go back slightly.
Go on.
About 30 seconds later, he's walking purposefully through the town, and Obi-Wan has that look in his face of shock, and Vader just suddenly stops because he senses Obi-Wan's there, but he doesn't know exactly where he is. So in order to draw him out, he starts executing people left, right, and center.
It was the kid.
Yeah.
Like, I actually exclaimed when he snapped his neck.
Yes, so did I.
Oh,
yeah, I couldn't believe it.
That coming.
Yeah, I thought there's absolutely no way Disney would ever do anything like that, and the noise, everything about it, and just like putting people out of their windows and dragging them along the floor, and then just executing
that was enough, and then just snap.
Yeah.
I was just like mind blown.
Yeah,
I could not believe it.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant.
He is brutal. Yeah.
I mean, he's so evil. He is evil personified. So,
it was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one person more evil than he is, and that's his boss. You know? Yeah. And then Obi-Wan knew he needed to draw Vader away, so he sent Leia off into the tunnels. And I really love that moment where he's dragging the woman along. Obi-Wan's actually out of the building, and he's hiding next to some crates. And you can see he purposely makes a movement so that Vader senses him.
Yeah.
And Vader turns his head really suddenly, just exactly where Obi-Wan just was.
Yeah.
But Obi-Wan's obviously run off.
Moved,
in order to draw Vader away from Leia. I just thought that was absolutely brilliant done. Absolutely brilliant.
But Reva figured it out, didn't she?
Yeah, Reva figured it out.
She went and checked and found it.
Yeah, she's still I don't know. I cannot guess what her deal is. I just don't know if she's going to turn out to be good, if she's going to turn out to be bad.
I can't see how she can be good.
No,
she plays bad so well.
Yes, yeah. But there was this moment where she touched the Jedi's insignia on the wall, and there was a moment of, I don't know,
took her back,
sadness. Yeah, but then immediately she dropped it and went full on mad. Yeah.
I mean, I was confused how she was able to be the right side of be at the end. She knew where Leia was going.
Yeah, I think she probably just guessed. Well, this obviously would go to the port where the ships take off. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get off planet, that would make the most sense for where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So that didn't. I've read some people that bothered, but I mean, it just made sense to me that.
Yeah. Well,
it's the obvious place.
I just assumed that she was tracking her rather than trying to cut her off. But yeah.
Yeah. But it's such a small.
Not an issue.
Not a big deal, is it really? No. So we have Obi-Wan running away, and he's in this open area, and then all of a sudden this lightsaber ignites in front of the camera, and and I'm just sitting there going, "This is on. This is on. I'm thinking, I cannot believe this. This is going to be amazing." I
was like you. I was almost expecting credits there.
Yeah. I mean,
no.
I mean,
he didn't want to fight though. He just wanted to run.
I think he wanted to run, but I think a lot of it is to draw Vader and take up his time in order for Leia to take. Because at the end of the day, his priority is to make sure Luke and Leia are safe. So I think that was the main thrust of him running all the time. But those moments where he's running and it's all dark, and Vader is speaking to him through the mist.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot run, Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Stuff like, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
What's become of you? I am what you made me. It's just absolutely brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. And when they finally do start clashing lightsabers with each other, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And I mean, I understand why it wasn't as what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting full-on Battle of the Heroes, John Williams music, Battle of the Heroes playing in the background.
Yeah.
But when they panned back and it was sort of like a mining, it felt like something you'd see in this country, a quarry or something like that.
Yeah.
A teeny part of me was a little bit disappointed.
Did they not say it was a quarry planet, or was it? Were they just?
Yeah, it was a mining planet, wasn't it?
Mining planet. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But after watching it 2 or 3 times, I completely forgot about that. And sometimes I judge things visually too much. Where I'm watching something and I'm looking at the visuals a lot more than I am actually what's going on.
Taking on the story. Yeah.
Yeah, but after the second or third time, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say the music didn't really fit the epicness of the moment, if that's the right phrase.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and listen. Well, I'll have another watch of it soon, I'm sure.
Sure. I mean, I think the fact that you don't remember the music is always a good sign to me. But again, it was fine. It was fine. I was still, I was loving everything else that was going on so much. It really wasn't that big a deal. So Obi-Wan's pretty much getting his butt kicked, shall we say?
Yeah.
And that moment where
he wasn't loving it, was he?
No, he wasn't. But the moment where Darth Vader pulls down all the mining ore, force chokes Obi-Wan in the air, ignites the mining ore,
and then just drags him through the
oh my word,
the fire.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Showing us once again just how brutal he really is, how evil.
I thought it was.
It seemed like it was payback essentially, because Obi-Wan watched him burn.
Yeah,
so
that's why he was doing it.
He's torturing him before.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got the idea that I think Vader wanted to hold him prisoner for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
and do
really
seriously
bad
torture into him. But he burned him a little bit, force pushed out the fire, and sent a stormtrooper over to pick him up. Obviously, the stormtrooper gets shot, and the Imperial officer, the Indira Varma's character, she blows up the big barrel of ore, which causes massive. And that was the only thing in the whole episode that kind of was like, oh, really? I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, okay.
30 seconds previously, he force pushed the fire out, completely out, and
it was more fire the second time, right?
It was more fire, but also
he could still do it, I suppose.
He could still have a go. He could walk around it. He could jump
over
it.
I don't know if it was. I don't know, because didn't the Stormtroopers say they couldn't get around?
I don't think they did, but
I thought I heard one of them say we can't go around. But
my third thing to say would be Darth Vader is a Jedi.
Right, he definitely could go over.
He could jump over it, absolutely no problem at all.
Yeah.
He also could see the droid that was picking Obi-Wan up, so he could crush the droid using the Force, so that no one could pick Obi-Wan up and just wait there until the fire went out.
Yeah. But they've got to find some way out of it, haven't they? They've got to keep him alive.
I agree. I just think perhaps in my opinion there could have been a best way of doing it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean to say that Vader, because he did stand and stare there for a while and then turn away, and you kind of got the impression, well, maybe he's doing that on purpose.
Maybe he's thought about it a little bit.
Maybe he's letting him get away so that he can follow them.
Well, he's already put so much fear into him that you could tell, like, he was so scared to fight Vader to begin with, and he's just making that worse and worse, essentially.
I
think, but who knows?
I just think that he's let him go on purpose, and that in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Because then the whole episode is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to look at it.
Yeah, So the next episode, the episode ended off, didn't it, with Reva capturing Leia.
Yeah.
Have absolutely no idea what her end game is. Still have no idea.
No. Unless she takes her back to Vader.
But then I don't think
would they do that early on.
Well, the thing is, obviously Leia knows Vader in episode 4, but they'd have a bit of a more tense relationship, wouldn't they, if they met up on the Tantive 4 when he captures her at the beginning.
And
I just don't know. I just don't know.
I mean, Vader knows that Luke's his son. Does he know that Leia's his daughter?
Only by episode 6 he does, in Return of the Jedi, because he reads Luke's thoughts and realizes that Leia's his sister. But I just don't think Reva's gonna.
When does Vader know that Luke's his son? Is it only
he realizes after he blows up the Death Star at the end of episode 4?
Yeah, okay.
And then between 4 and Empire Strikes Back, he comes to realize that it's his son. So yeah, I think, and obviously
the Force is strong in this twins. One, I guess, is that.
Yes,
that's his realization, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Leia won't go anywhere near Vader. To be quite honest with you, I think she'll be kept aside somewhere. So yeah, I don't know, but the next episode is going to be an interesting one, because it could be one of those. Okay, we've had a big episode. We need to sort of quieten things down a little bit.
A little bit of filler.
Possibly a little bit of filler, but as long as that filler is flashback scenes from the Clone Wars, or flashback scenes from Order 66, or flashback scenes from anything in the prequels, or a bit of Palpatine, wouldn't say no to that. So
yeah,
that'd be nice. But I think it's probably more likely going to be Obi-Wan healing, and perhaps finally getting through to Qui-Gon to get the strength that he needs to face Vader again.
Maybe getting those acquaintances together.
Well, you have to remember the whole premise of this show, in my eyes, is when Luke asks Vader to come with him, to come back to the good side. Vader turns to him and says, Obi-Wan once thought as you do, but you don't know the power of the dark side. So that means at some point in the show, Obi-Wan's going to try and tempt Vader back to the good side. So that means that he's going to have to have a big confrontation with him at some point, and he's going to have be quite a lot more competent in the Force, if you like. When he does. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've got 1 minute left, so if you've got anything else you want to talk about.
I think
we've covered most of it.
I think we've, for the terms of the main cool parts, the punch the air, goosebumps moments.
Yeah, it was a cool episode.
It was a great episode.
Really good.
Perhaps we should do.
Look forward to watching it again.
Yeah, you should do. Perhaps we should do a live watch for the final episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'll be able to concentrate properly. We'll see.
Okay, mate.
Cool. Nice one. Yeah, cool.
Excellent.
We'll catch you later.
Yep.
On to the next one.
Brilliant. Can't wait. Speak to you Wednesday.
Yeah. See you later.
Bye.